Howdy y'all, Fuzzy Biker here in the Fuzzy Biker Garage, winding my way through a sea of motorcycles. This is the one we're going to look at today. This is my Royal Enfield Super Meteor 650. Look at that thing, just glistening in the sun. Beautiful motorcycle. I got this about a year ago. I've got just under 12,000 miles on it. I'm going to take it out for a ride today. Look at that nice sunny day out there. Had a beautiful ride yesterday. Took the Bear over there, put about 50 miles on that yesterday. What an attitude changing. Right in the start of the day, doom and gloom, and ended up just feeling just all pumped up. Motorcycles do that to a guy, right? Yeah. So one of the interesting things about this particular motorcycle that I've been asked about lately, I keep talking about this trip to Alaska, and I'm going to take the Himalayas is what I'm planning on doing. What about the Bear? Well, I had a couple of guys ask about this motorcycle. Why not the Super Meteor? I've got the windshield on it. I've got the large foot pegs. I've got these awesome bags. I've got a rack that I can mount stuff on, and I do have a bag for that. I've got YSS shocks on the rear. I've got I've got the tire pressure monitoring system. I've got this touring seat, absolutely amazing and very comfortable touring seat. I've got a lot of experience on this. I think my longest day on this bike was, 840 miles. I was in Fresno, Colorado, and I drove all the way back. I drove up to Cheyenne, then all the way back here to A-Town, where I'm at right now. So what about that bike? Well, I think it would do it just fine. I really do. It's a real hot rod. So it is a 648cc single overhead cam, 47 horsepower, 39 foot-pounds of torque. That's 52 newton meters, 6-speed transmission. I got a list right here. It's got upside down Showa 43 millimeter forks. Check that out. With 4.4 inches of travel on the front, that's 109 millimeters. I've got these YSS shocks on the back. In stock form, this had about 4 inches of travel on the rear. That's about 101 millimeters. The disc brake on the front, look at that massive disc, is a 320 millimeter disc with a dual piston Barbary caliper. On the rear, you can't really see it. It's in there somewhere, by golly, is a 300 millimeter disc with a single piston, dual piston. See that? Dual piston Barbary caliper again. No wonder that back brake works so good. The front tire is a 19-190. And the rear one is a 150/80/16. Look at the size of that tire. I think I just put a new tire on this too. There it is. Seat. Yep, that's a brand new tire, by golly. Seat height, and this is really cool. In stock form, 29.1 inches, that's 740 millimeters. Wheelbase, it's got a long wheelbase, and that would make it good for a long ride. 59 inches, that's 1,500 millimeters. It does have a 4.1 gallon gas tank, that's 15.7 liters. Wet weight on this bike is supposed to be 531 pounds. That's 241 kilograms. That's about 50 or 60 pounds heavier than the Bear. And that's about 100 pounds heavier than that. So a lot of difference there. Let me get some gear on and we're going to go for a ride. Wahoo! Sun's a shining. Skies are blue. Not a cloud in the sky, by golly. What's going on here? This is Iowa in January. Tomorrow we're supposed to be... I don't know if it's tomorrow. Yeah, I think it starts tomorrow. We're going to get cold, and by Monday and Tuesday, we're supposed to be 0 degrees at the top of the day. So we got to get our riding in while we can. The roads are absolute pooey. That's being nice. They're sandy and dirty and slippery and all kinds of fun. Haven't rode this one in a while. It's got about 12,000 miles on it. Let's see what it says. 11,954. I love the way this bike sits. It's very comfortable to sit on. You sit almost straight up and down. It's got forward control, so your feet are ahead of you. Very comfortable. A lot of leg room, Your elbows are kind of down by by your body. I like the way it feels. I can sit this way for miles. I've got the windscreen on here. I've been caught in the rain in this before. It works very well. The touring seat on this, I put the touring seat on this literally the day before I went to Colorado. So I had a 700-mile ride. So right before I did that, I put the touring seat in, of course. And it actually worked really well. It was a very comfortable, and it still is a very comfortable seat. This bike's been on top of a dozen mountain passes out there in Colorado. Colorado Mark, I went up there and visited him last summer on this. He has a shotgun, customized shotgun that we just rolled around and had all kinds of fun on. Beautiful out there. Anyway, the bike performed admirably. It's just a beautiful thing. You know, I was talking about Alaska, and I got asked about Alaska with this particular motorcycle. And I've talked to people that have taken, I think we met a guy last year that had taken a 1800, is it 18 or 1600? The big 6-cylinder BMW inline 6. And he said he had no troubles at all. And he went all the way up to Prudhoe Bay, I believe, on that. I've also talked to, it was a husband and wife. They both had Harley dressers. And this was years ago, and they took those up there. If those bikes will do it, this bike should do it absolutely fine. Just carry a gas can with you, right? I've got one of those fuel bags. It's a very nice place to be. I'm really happy I put the windshield on and the touring seat, and of course, actually all the things I've added, the wide foot pegs, and of course the YSS suspension. It's got an analog speedometer, and then in the middle there's about an 1.5 inch circle that's got a LCD fuel gauge, gear indicator, the odometer. What else has it got in there? Hey, it's got a clock. How about that? Trip 1, trip 2, of course. Then on the right there, you'll see a nav system. I've used it. It does work. Then I've got my TPMS reader right here for my tire pressure. So yes, this motorcycle will definitely do the long ride. All right, let's burn up some open road. Beautiful Iowa. Whoa! We made our way to Anita, Iowa. Something I had forgotten is how well this motorcycle runs. It's a very smooth bike. It's a very comfortable motorcycle. It's a great place to sit. You know, the last 10 miles have just been pure joy. You know, we built this bike to be comfortable for the long ride, and it absolutely is. Yeah. I forget sometimes how nice a bike this is. Like I said, I put 12,000 miles on it in the first year. You know, it's very smooth. There's very little vibration, if any, in the handlebars. It actually vibrates a little bit through the foot pegs when you're going slow like this through town. But, you know, pick up the RPMs, it smooths right out. Loads of torque. I think it's 39 foot-pounds of torque. That's 52 Newton meters. But it all comes in very low in the RPM range. What would I do to this to take it to Alaska? I don't know, maybe heated grips. The thing about the heated grips, I don't want to get rid of these. I love these, the stock grips that this bike has. Hey, look, we never go in this way. Let's go in this way. Look at this, huh? Gorgeous, gorgeous. Where are we at? I'll tell you all about it. We're at the site of the first train robbery in the West, committed by the notorious Jesse James and his gang of outlaws. July 21st, 1873. He unbolted the tracks, the train came along and fell over. The idea was that there was gold in there. And look at that beautiful scenery out there. Isn't that just gorgeous? The train did not have any gold in it, or so we're told. He was out of luck. This countryside, there are urban legends, you know, family stories, things like that of yeah, Jesse James and his gang came to our farm and spent the night, and newspaper articles way back in the day about Jesse James and his gang stayed in this barn or in this gully or whatnot. And of course, everybody's got the Jesse James gold story. We are in that part of the country. So the bike is just running great. Look at that thing, an absolutely gorgeous machine. I am just falling in love with it again. I love this thing. When I bought it, I just couldn't keep off of it, and I can see why now. I really think that seat was a great investment. Of course, the GV bags, I think I got the GV bags right away. Those are removable. You turn that key that's on the back there and they just pop right off. Take them inside, pack them up, put them back on the bike, get to the hotel, do the same thing again. And I think I put the windshield on it right away. I had the windshield on there right away. But she's got just the right amount of power, just the right amount of smoothness, just the right amount of good looks. I parked this next to my Harleys because I think it belongs next to them. It's really got that look, it's got that feel. It's actually got comparable history. Royal Enfield started producing motorcycles in 1901. I think the company started well before that, something like 1870s. So the bike does have forward controls, so a lot of people have trouble with that. I bought myself a Honda Shadow several years ago, and I put about, I don't know, 50 or 60,000 miles on it. And it had forward controls, and I just absolutely fell in love with them at that time. The big advantage is that you have a lot of leg room. You know, your feet are out, your legs are stretched out, your knees don't get bound up, and it's very comfortable. A lot of people say, well, you can't lift yourself up when you're on the bike. Well, you can, actually. I do it all the time. You know, there's tricks to doing all these things. There's always a way, you know, the will of the way. Hey, you know what? I think we're going to hit some Interstate. How's that sound? Wahoo! Alrighty, y'all. We just blasted down about 25 miles of interstate. You ever on I-80 and you get by exit 51, go ahead and take that exit. When you get to the stop sign, turn south, head towards Marnie. If you go north, you're going to run out of pavement within about half a mile. So go south, that way we're going. And within about 3 miles, you will be in the mighty metropolis of Marnie, Iowa. And the road will take you right by Baxter Cycle, the famous, world famous Baxter Cycle. What a gorgeous day for a bike ride. You know, I was pretty much in the dumps. It was a bad thing. I was coming unglued, about to pop a pin, and yesterday we finally had some good weather. January in Iowa is a terrible thing sometimes. And we finally had some good weather. I got the Bear out, and I put a mess of miles on that, 50 or 60 miles. The sun was shining. You know, today, hey, we just turned 12,000 miles on this one. But today we've done a mess of miles too, and the motorcycle just, you know, brings the guy back to life, you know. It's a good thing, especially on a day like today. Now, last January, I think we only got a couple hundred miles in, but last February, we had an unusual February, and I was able to get in, I think, 3,500 miles last year in the month of February. I hope we're as lucky again this year. You know, I forget how nice the Royal Enfield Super Meteor really is. It's a smooth bike. It's a very comfortable bike. It's got an incredibly, what I consider a wonderful seating position. I love the forward controls. It's got excellent brakes. It's got a wonderful suspension. It just does it right. And you know, I really believe this bike could do the Alaska trip. Now, I've never done the Alaska trip myself, but from all the anecdotal information I've acquired over the years, I think this would be a good choice. And I've got this bike, look at all that water and crud on the road there. I've got this bike all set up. I think I could just about hop on it, just throw my gear on the back. You know, it's got plenty of luggage, it's got a windshield, all the neat stuff. Hey, look what we got here. That is Baxter Cycle on the left side there. You can see it. They're loading motorcycles in that big trailer for a trip to Las Vegas. If you all are in the market for a new or used Royal Enfield Triumph Classic British bike of any type, need parts, accessories, thingamajigs, doodads, by God, they've got that parking lot full. Coats, jackets, gear of any type. Look at all this stuff. Holy cow, how's a guy gonna get, what am I gonna do here? Anyway, get yourself over here to Baxter Cycle, or go to baxtercycle.com. We're just gonna kind of claw our way around here. Make sure you tell those fine folks that Fuzzy Biker sent you. Hey, exhaust pipe alley. Hit like and subscribe. Boy, it's look at the crud on the ground here. You know, it's a beautiful day for a motorcycle ride here. I hope it's a beautiful day where y'all are at. Life is good, my friends. Please get out there and ride. Wahoo!
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Wahoo! Wahoo!